Hello, it's Nienke here from Nienks.com, and today we are going to make a card with Pick of the Patch. So that's a new stamp set, and then it's with a punch too. There's this very nice pumpkin patch stamp set, and then the punch. So I'm going to show you a couple of tricks with the builder punch, and then we're just going to put together this card really quick. Now this was my swap card with my team. We had a mini catalog swap this month, and I made this card for them. Okay, so it's a piece of early espresso cardstock, just the normal size, and what I already did was use these little leaf images and then just randomly stamp some first, second and third. The third generation you can't really see, but first, second and third generation of those little leaves on the background, just in the top and the bottom corner. And then I have a piece of pumpkin pie cardstock that measures 2 by 5.5, and I embossed that with the fall leaf 3D embossing folder. I think it's still available in the online exclusives. So let's put this together, and then we have some fun stamping. Just going to add this piece and then start with the stamping. I want to do this way, and then I'm just adhering that right there, about a little bit less than a half an inch from the side. Okay, let's do stamping. So I hope you're having a great week. We had a very busy week. Okay, I have a piece of very vanilla cardstock. I like using very vanilla with fall. I don't know, it just feels like it works together. And I'm going to grab some early espresso cardstock, and then the sentiment, a harvest of blessings. I'm going to adhere that there and ink this up. Very nice. I do love this sentiment. And we're just going to, I'm just using my grid paper again to get that sort of straight. Give it a minute to adhere. There we go. Not to adhere, for the ink to absorb into the paper. And then to wipe this off. I think my chamois is raw. I don't know, it's sort of okay. I need to go and rinse that out. That will be a job for right after this video. Okay, now I'm going to use, you get these little dots as well. I do love them. And I'm going to do first, second and third generation of this, just starting right about here, doing 1, 2, 3, like so, and then about halfway up on this side too, just doing 1, 2 and 3, first, second and third. I do love that dot edge, or any dot edge is fun actually. So that will just give it some additional interest in the back. And I think then we're done with early espresso. So I'm going to grab Mossy Meadow, another favorite color of mine. Grab that, and I think I need, do I need the little swirly bit? Yeah. I didn't use that one. Hold on. I just used this one, and I have this one already adhered with that half leaf because I stamped that in the center. Let me show you. I already did that. Just use one of those pumpkins, and then I just inked up half of this little swirly bit right to there, and then I just stamped them all together like so. When you're mass producing, it's nice to do little things like this, have them both set up instead of doing like them separately. it is nice to do that. Okay, so I sort of have already you know, made these for my swaps, so I know roughly where I want to place these. If you don't know, then just stamp and punch your pumpkins first, and then you can sort of place them here and have a better idea of where you want it. Now, like I said, I made these for my team swap, so I already have an idea of where and how I want these little curly bits to go. This one will go right there. There we go. And then we will do the pumpkins and the leaves. So that is sort of the background done. Now, here is a little something I wanted to show you. I use my cut-off strips. Everybody has some random scraps of these strips lying around, right? When you have a builder punch that's got multiple images in one punch, you don't want to lose paper by, you know, cutting a big piece and then it keeps on biting into your paper. I like to maximize my paper usage with the builder punch, and that is why I use strips. Strips is the best thing to use with your builder punches. So, and now I found that about a finger image between each leaf does great. That leaves exactly enough space for this. There's that little indentation of where the punch bites into that. So if you have your strip and you want to just stamp all of your leaves like this, like I did there, you just want a finger space about in between each image, and check the orientation. So when you go in to do your punching and you have a little strip, and first, you know, you're using a scrap strip anyway, so you have made good use of your scrap strip, and there's not any you know, not a lot of wastage, just these little pieces. Okay, so there is our leaf. I only want one. For a second thought I wanted two. What else? Oh, we need our stem. So here we go, same thing. I'm going to use this is what I have, an inch little scrap strip that I just have a little bag that I put all of my scraps in, and I'm just going to use this. Now the orientation of the punch is this way. I just punch those out that way, and I can just come in and do it from the other side. The reason why I have it a little bit bigger is so that you can easily hang on to your piece of paper. If you have too small of a strip, you can't really control you know, where you put it. If you're hanging in there like this, it's harder. Okay, so there we go. We have now the stems. I wanted to stamp and punch Mossy Meadow on Mossy Meadow. You could also have done early espresso. For the stem, I chose Mossy Meadow for no particular reason. Okay, there is 2 stems for my pumpkins. Now, another trick. We are done with this. Now the pumpkin pie and my pumpkins. This is what I did. I took my piece of paper and it, like, measured how thick I wanted. I think this is 1.5. Is that it? Yeah. So if you have 1.5 inch pieces, you know, strips of scrap lying around, then I took my punch and I just punched out one of these. So then I had a little template of where they need to go. I then put my stamps into that template and adhere them to the block. So now I can stamp both of these pumpkins at once, again, just for efficiency. Now I could just go ahead and stamp all of them and then punch them all. I think in my last video I said that for distinctive stamps you don't want juicy ink pads. Now for solid images like this one, and the fact that this is a pumpkin, right, we want some extra texture on there. My ink pad was extremely juicy, so it made way more of a texture when I started with it. Now it is still juicy, but not as much. So I'm just going to see if it will do what I wanted to do. Now what I'm doing is actually pressing a bit harder and picking up quickly. Can you see it? It's making like little bubbles. I don't know if you can see it. It's like little ink bubbles. Now usually I don't Oh, you can see them on there. Do you see? It's little bubbles. Now, if you want a solid image and you don't want any texture on your stamp, then you don't want that. You're going to very slowly and softly just bump on your ink pad. And obviously, if you don't want a lot of ink, you move that out of the way. Because these are pumpkins and I want some extra texture on them. I want these little bubbles. So I pressed harder than I would. You would see it's all in my block. Ink all over, which is not ideal, but I had to press harder and then pick up quickly to make those bubbles. Okay, I'm going to show you what happens when you have those bubbles. I just want to make sure I have enough. Look at this. Now you have these areas of texture. Do you see? It's not a flat image. Now, these are pumpkins. I want them to have extra texture, and that's a way to do that very quickly. Okay, so like I said, not for everybody. Most people probably want their images to be absolutely solid. I want that to be there. I want the extra pumpkin feel. Okay, isn't that so cool? I love that. Like I said, a juicy ink pad, like press and pick up very quickly so that you form little air bubbles, and that will give you that effect if you like it. If you don't, just slowly and steadily continue with just lightly tapping and you'll get a solid image. Okay, so now when you're mass producing and you want to make a lot of cards, like I said, stamping 2 images at once and then also punching 2 images at once is way more time efficient. Okay, you can always, like where's that other strip I had it somewhere, like this one. If you have a thinner strip, you can always do this and then just stamp and punch one at a time, and then you won't waste anything going this way. And the same with this. If you had a strip like this and you just wanted this bump, and then you can just do that one without wasting paper. Okay, there we go. I hope that's a lot of fun tricks for you today. So we have our pumpkin, we have the leaf, we have the stem, we have the background. Did I say this was 3x3? I think. Let's check. Yeah, 3x3 piece of berry vanilla. This is a 3x3 piece of mossy meadow. Now you, if you don't just want to use cardstock again, you can use designer series paper for this step. That will look great. That the new full paper, the I want to say pumpkin paper, I don't know what it's called, I'll check now, will look great if you have a piece of that has like gold foil, I think, on it. Let's quickly see if I can find it. Here we go. This, if you have, how are we gonna do this paper, this is the beautiful fall paper, what's it called, All About Autumn paper. So that's still in stock. It might be temporarily unavailable. Anywho, that will be nice at the back of that. I'm using my grit paper because now I just adhered this at a little off angle, so it's hard to see if you have your whites very vanilla centered. So I'm just using my grid paper right there. We're going to adhere our little stems. Now I was like, which way does this really go? Does it go this way? What way? Anyway, I decided to have the bigger part showing and add glue to this little piece here. I don't think it makes, whatever. It's a pumpkin and stem. You can do it any way you feel like that looks best. These are teeny tiny little pieces. Do not lose your little pumpkin thingy. It's so small, and I have a tendency of leaving stuff on my blocks and just have them laying around, which is not ideal. Need to put it back in its case. Okay, we have 2 pumpkin stems attached. Let's attach a little leaf. Going to put my leaf, I'm just going to use one and attach it right there, like so. and then grab some dimensionals and add them. 1, 2, 3. Are we going to do 1, 2, 3? I think so. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. On the bigger one, now I'm going to add some fun. Do we want that there? I think so. Oh, you know what? I wanted to scooch up. Come on, you can do it. Just wanted to scooch up a little bit. There we go. And then this one, we'll do 1, 2. Like looking off to the right for my dimensionals, and it was lying on my left. Oh, hold on. We only want 1 because this is already popped up. And it's going to sort of hang over. We're just going to add a little bit of glue right there. Take this off and put that there so that the two little thingies are coming off there. Feels like it's coming off that pumpkin. Now for here, I'm going to use the threaded twine, this one with the silver trim. I love it. And let's go with 4 inches. That's what I'm thinking. I love this twine. It's quite thick, so there's not a lot of, like, you can't really knot it tight or make a bow. It's very thick, but I thought if we just make like a little sort of almost a knot, but not really, we just leave it like this. That's not too thick. And then I wanted to fray, makes a little bit of a mess, but I wanted to fray the edges like so. Doesn't that look fall-ish? You know, like the burlap or the whatever. Oh, come on. Let's use it. Take your big tool just to help this one along a little bit. There we go. Like so. And like so. There we go. Isn't that fun? Okay, glue dot. I'm going to put the glue dot right there so that it sort of holds that in place. And then these little pieces of twine, thread, whatever, and we're going to add that right there like so. Oh, that is so cool. I do love it. And just going to add this to our card front. Using my grid paper again because this angle is, the green mossy meadow can put you off getting this straight. And then I'm just trying to get these two sort of the same. It's about 1/2 inch, and then there's about a 1/4 of an inch showing of the pumpkin pie. Does that look good? Yep. And then we just put that down. And then for some bling, I grab my box of bling up here. I'm going to use, this is the adhesive back speckled dots, also from the new mini catalog and that fall suite that I showed you the paper of. I just love these. They're beautiful for fall, and I decided to use the crumb cake ones. Let's put them, let's put a big one there and a little one there and a little one here. There we go. And then, like I showed you already, I also stamped the inside, doing the same thing. And you can then also, I don't have envelope with me right now, but you can also do this with your envelope. Just stamp that in the little corner. And that's the inside. Isn't that so pretty? And that is the outside. You know what? I think I can, let me quickly do, oh no, I can't find my envelopes right now. Anyway, so there you go. That is our card for that day. I hope you enjoyed it. If you made it to the end of the video, I would love for you to hit the thumbs up and the subscribe the subscribe button, so that you can see more projects from me. Next time will probably be paper pumpkin. I'm waiting for my paper pumpkin to arrive. And also, if you comment, I do send you this card as a thank you. Bye bye.